Hello guys. Welcome to Wrestling Universal Facts. Today we are going to talk about is CM Punk going back to WWE. Speculation has been rife in recent weeks linking CM Punk with a move back to WWE following his dismissal from AEW. But is the news true? Here, Dav Meltzer looks at whether CM Punk will be in WWE anytime soon. So like we know. In 2014, following a successful period as one of WWE's leading performers, CM Punk walked out of WWE and didn't return. In future interviews, Punk listed a number of grievances, mainly related to his health and booking, why he had left the company, and later that year, WWE made the news official. Since his departure, Punk's name was chanted on numerous occasions, but despite the eagerness for fans to see him back, a return didn't materialize. Then CM Punk finally joined AEW in the summer of 2021 and made an immediate impact with wrestling fans. A number of impressive outings against MJF and Eddie Kingston followed before Punk won the AEW World title against Adam Page at Double or Nothing 2022. Punk was injured shortly afterwards but kept his title with AEW, installing an interim champion. Punk would lose the status to Jon Moxley when he returned later that year, but he regained the crown at All Out 2022. Then CM Punk left AEW after winning the world title at All Out. Punk made comments about several AEW wrestlers, most notably The Elite, in the show's post-event press conference. This led to an altercation with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. All involved in the fracas were removed from AEW television, with Punk's absence being longer due to injury. Punk made his comeback on the first episode of Collision, but his return was only brief. Before his match against Samoa Joe at All In at Wembley, Punk was involved in another fight, this time with Jack Perry. A few days later, Punk was released from the company. Will Punk return to WWE at Survivor Series 2023? With Survivor Series 2023 taking place in Chicago, Punk's home city, a potential return to WWE would surely take place here. Punk was at an episode of Raw earlier this year, reportedly to make amends with some talent, but he was asked to leave the area by Vince McMahon. It appears that Punk is willing to forgive WWE, but do they want him back? Despite some indirect hints from talent on screen, it has been widely reported by wrestling media figures that WWE has no plans to bring Punk back. Survivor Series is fast approaching, and plans could obviously change before then. But as it stands, it doesn't look like Punk will be in WWE anytime soon if those covering the sport are to be believed. Also, journalists are starting to pose the question to higher-ups in WWE too. We've seen Nick Khan be asked about whether he'd take Punk back, and now Shawn Michaels has been on the receiving end of the same queries. However, Michaels' reply was different to those that had come before. For the first time since Punk became a free agent, a top WWE executive has said they'd like to see Punk return, which the Heartbreak Kid did during the No Mercy media call yesterday, ahead of NXT's pay-per-view event this weekend. He said, "Of course, we'd welcome him here in NXT. My guess is, he would probably want to go to the main roster. I always enjoyed working with Phil. Didn't get to do it much. I understood him. Whether you want to say there were similarities in us, I can't lie. We were at TV, and he once pulled out his wallet, on the spot. An autograph that I had signed for him in a hotel that he still had. I've always liked him. I understand he's a different kind of cat, and can sometimes be challenging to get along with people. But that is probably why I like him, because I suffer from the same thing. Obviously that's for people to decide higher up on the food chain than I am. He's a guy that does numbers and makes money. That would be a risk-reward ratio that from a company standpoint they'd have to consider. When it comes to, would we take him in NXT and have him on our television? Are you kidding me? Of course, I would. I just don't think anybody would let me. Who wouldn't take that kind of star power? I don't know. If I get in trouble for that, I'll let you know. It's noteworthy to see someone like Michaels, given his role as a top executive and head booker of NXT, show open support towards the idea of WWE re-signing CM Punk, as they usually wouldn't comment on wrestlers that have burned bridges with the company in the past. The two-time WWE champion recently stated that he has time on his hands for the next 2 months, which indicated to many that Survivor Series in Chicago was the likely destination for a Punk return. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think he will return to Survivor Series? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to know wrestling news and updates first.